When mobsters talk about blowing away their competition, who knew they were actually referring to wind power? Forget about it. Let's get connected on today's BFD. What if I told you that the future of alternative energy may rest in the hands of organized crime? It's closer to true than you can imagine. Just a few weeks ago, the Italian government seized almost $2 billion in mob-controlled wind-powered resources. Now the real question is, what will the fallout from the seizure mean? Suddenly, the Italian government is deep into wind power. Does this mean they'll continue to subsidize solar and wind? Who knew the best way to get people to move away from coal and oil was to make them an offer they couldn't refuse? To walk us through this issue is TakePart.com's environmental producer, Sal Cardoni. Sal, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
First off, tell us the story. And how did the mob get so deep into wind power?
Italy generates more than 5,000 megawatts of wind energy from more than 300 wind farms. Italy, being ranked third, I think, in Europe in terms of renewable energy, decides a couple years ago, sure, we'll start pouring a lot of money into wind and solar, the future, not fossil fuel energy, right? So then the federal government in Italy sends the money to the local government, who then teams up with an energy firm. And so there needs to be a middleman between the local government, which is highly red taped, right, and these firms. So the firms hire the mob.
This is where this gets involved.
Right, the mob,
okay.
right. So
Sure.
It's not a good thing for Italy, because here's why.
Okay.
They were stealing money that should have gone back to the energy companies, which would have then maybe, in theory, increased the likelihood that the Italian government would give more subsidies, right? And with more subsidies comes the construction of more wind turbines and more solar panels. And in other words, this greed by the mob is stopping the proliferation of solar and wind. A couple weeks ago, the Italian government seized $1.7 billion in assets from a developer named Vito Nicastri, and he's known as the Lord of the Wind in Italy, right?
That's a total, like, mob boss name.
Right.
Like, clearly.
So this could be a good thing, because it means that the Italian government is now in ownership of these 43 wind and energy companies that were previously run by, you know, the mob, right?
Right.
The more wind energy we have and the more solar energy we have, Earth wins.
Right.
And the mob was, in theory, stopping that because they were taking money that could have been reinvested into it. The reason it's a cool story is because the mob doesn't get into business with failing entities.
Sure.
So if you want to put a silver lining on this story, it's that renewable energy is a profitable business. So there's a hope for this thing. It's not going away. In other words, the mob isn't in the oil business in Italy. They're in the wind business.
Do you think there's a movie in this?
You mean like an environmentally friendly movie?
You know, like Solar Face.
Green Fellas.
Green Father.
Green Fellas.
Green Father. Carlito's eco-friendly way.
Leave the gun, take the turbine.
Say hello to my solar-powered friend.
Just when I thought I was out, they blew me back in.
I don't know about that one.
Wind energy. I don't know where your mind
No,
is
right.
in the
No,
fifth grade
sure, totally,
boys'
man.
lunch table gutter.
Could this be the rise of the green mob? Solar panel protection rackets? It's way too early to tell what this can mean for alternative energy, but at least it's a sexy and interesting bit of news to get people talking. Working hard to promote alternative energy is something that everyone should care about. And if it's something that you're passionate about, click the links below to sign the petition to tell President Obama to make climate issues a priority. For BFD, I'm Marisha Ray, and we'll see you next time.